The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube. And on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you are encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with me or not. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to 12 million additional households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. Welcome to the show on this Election Day Eve. Ladies and gentlemen, the long 2-year road to the White House hopefully will be completed tomorrow by, say, 11 or 12 o'clock. Not much later than that, please. Well, you know, this is a day of enthusiasm. It's a day of new claims and counterclaims. It's a good day to throw out claims against your opponent because they don't have time to respond. This has got to be one of the most voter-involved elections in recent memory. Look at all the people who have gone to the polls early to vote. Helping us take us down the final stretch in this 2-year-long race today is the president of the Colorado State Senate, Peter Groff. Peter Groff, we invited to focus on how much this election means, especially to black Americans, but why all U.S. citizens are so enthused by a campaign that's resulting in long lines in those states that allow for early voting. Groff is the founder and executive director of the University of Denver Center for African American Policy. He is publisher of the center's website, blackpolicy.org, and ascentpress.org. He is also co-author of Standing in Gap, Leadership for 21st Century, a guide to political leadership. Boy, do we need that today even more than ever. Peter Groff, welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Thank you for having me. I apologize for the noise. I'm actually at an Obama event, and we're waiting for Michelle Obama. So that's, if you hear any noise, that's what's going on.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can have this show even while you're at an Obama rally. Yes, we can.
There you go.
Well, I'll tell you, let me just say on a personal note, I was in Denver for the convention there, the Democratic convention. I had a wonderful time. It's
great.
A
Did
great
you spend
town.
lots of money while you were here?
I spent lots of money because I had equipment failures. Right. So it was Best Buy and Radio Shack, and of course all the great eateries there. What's the name of that street that the tram comes up and down?
16th Street Mall.
The 16th Street Mall. And what's the name of the restaurant that's a microbrewery there?
Oh, let's see. We've got a couple. It's either Hard Rock or Rock Bottom.
Rock Bottom. I got to tell you, they make the best Auburn beer ale that you're ever going to taste. It's worth a trip back to Denver. Are you happy that this campaign is finally coming to an end? I think most Americans are a little weary of it by now.
Oh, yeah, I am. I cannot wait for tomorrow at 7 o'clock Mountain Time for these polls to close. It has been a long 2 years for us. We also have a U.S. Senate race here as well and a couple of contested congressional races. So it's been a long time.
Well, this has got to be the race of races for a guy who publishes blackpolicy.org with an African-American, the favorite for tomorrow's race for the White House. Whether he is elected or not, it's pretty historic that a guy like Barack Obama in a country that at one time did lynchings and had Jim Crow laws could actually aspire to and perhaps be elected President of the United States.
There's no question that this is a historic moment for the country and certainly for African Americans. And I mean, you can see that by the huge turnout of African Americans across the country. It means so much, particularly to those who are older. You know, there are many folks, and I did some churches yesterday for Senator Obama. And at the older people in the crowd, they never thought, one, they could vote, let alone vote for an African American.
Yeah, they never thought they'd live long enough to be able to do that, and I can certainly recognize that. So, and appreciate it. So, has this country matured to the point where race is no longer an issue, or has it been interjected too often already in this political campaign?
I think we'll find out how far we're willing to go tomorrow. But certainly there's no question that there's been a political maturation and really a racial maturation in this country to have not only an African American but a woman as part of this contest tomorrow. So, certainly we have come a long, long way. There are still issues, but, we have come, I think, light years in the past couple of years during this campaign.
Not just a woman, but a woman moose hunter, which I've never known a woman moose hunter before in my life. So that's interesting in and of itself. Barack Obama said in an interview when the issue of race was raised that it's pretty much a wash. There are people who are voting for him because of the color of his skin, and there are people who are voting against him, I guess, more so than for McCain because of the color of his skin. And it kind of evens out. And when you take those two groups and move them aside, the mainstream of the United States really doesn't care about skin pigmentation any longer. Would you agree with that assessment?
I would agree with that. I think he's right to say it's probably a wash. We just can't tell with the polls. The so-called Bradley effect, I'm not so sure actually is occurring. And that, I think people, if they don't want to vote for you, they're not going to vote for you. And they're going to tell that to a pollster. So I think we are in a spot where race has been kind of neutralized, if you will, on the issue of electing people of color or women to high office.
Yeah, I would hope so. I really do hope that that's way behind us here.